Coming up next on Arizona Horizon, the union representing Phoenix Police says that the city's law enforcement manpower shortage is at a crisis level. Also tonight, we'll hear about the exploration of an asteroid that could be the remnants of a failed planet. And we'll hit the links with a golf program that empowers girls with every drive, chip, and putt. That's next on Arizona Horizon.
Arizona Horizon is made possible by contributions from the Friends of Arizona PBS, members of your PBS station. Thank you.
Good evening and welcome to Arizona Horizon. I'm Ted Simons. The Arizona Senate today voted to expand the state's school voucher program. The proposal approved by the Senate is an amended version of the original call for all of the state's public school students to be eligible to use tax money for private and religious school tuition. Now, the amended version that ultimately passed allows all students to apply for the program, but gradually increases the number eligible over the next 6 years. That version of the proposal is now in the House, where a few Republican holdouts are reportedly being encouraged by the governor to vote yes. We will have much more on the voucher expansion tomorrow on the Journalists Roundtable. A 6-year hiring freeze coupled with attrition and retirement has left the Phoenix Police Department understaffed, so much so that the union that represents Phoenix police officers says that the shortage is at a crisis level. Here to talk more about the concern over police staffing is Britt London, Vice President of PLEA, the Phoenix Law Enforcement Association. Good to have you here. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Ted.
Staffing levels at a crisis level. Talk to me here. What's this all about?
We believe that we don't have enough police officers to adequately ensure the safety of the citizens of Phoenix.
When you say crisis level, I mean, give me a definition of what crisis level means.
Crisis level, we don't have enough patrol officers to respond to calls for service, specifically emergency calls for service, in an adequate enough time to ensure that the citizens calling for that help are going to be safe.
Now, I know that there's been a recent hiring push. Is that helping matters?
Yes. Well, of course, any addition we can have to the department is helping, but it doesn't seem like it is enough officers, especially to equal out the attrition that we have. It's not even making a dent.
So the attrition is the big part here. Retirement, attrition, the whole nine.
Yes, yes.
Compare the numbers then of recruits. I don't have to give me hard, fast numbers here, but a general idea of recruits versus retirement.
Well, so right now we have maybe 20 recruits, sometimes less, to a class. Those classes are graduating maybe one every month or two, but we generally have about 100 people retire a year.
And as far as maybe 200 hire, 50 retire, something along that. You're saying 100 retire a year?
About 100 on average retire.
So in the nuts and bolts of things, how does it affect the daily operation of police work?
We don't have enough patrol officers, first responders. On the back end, on the investigative end, you don't have enough detectives to investigate your crime and bring resolution. Bring justice to you.
As far as response time, what are we seeing there?
So response time has gone up. In the mid to late 90s, response time was around 5 minutes. I think the mean time now is about 7 minutes. So that doesn't mean we are, it just raised 2 minutes. Sometimes it takes 15 or more minutes to get to a call. The 7-minute mark is just the mean.
Are we talking all priority level calls here?
No, that's just for priority 1 calls. You have priority 2 and priority 3 calls also. Sometimes priority 3 calls can hold literally hours or days.
I know that the Phoenix Police Department has been sending detectives and sergeants back to the street, reassignment. Is that helping?
I don't think it's helped one bit.
Why not?
Well, it's not enough. It's not enough help for the first responders. I like to give the analogy, our chief is trying her best, but she was given a shoebox with 5 marbles. She's told to shake that shoebox and produce 7 marbles, and it's impossible.
Is it difficult to get detectives and sergeants back out onto the street? I mean, is morale suffering because of that?
Morale is definitely suffering.
That's a tough thing to ask those folks to do.
Oh, sure. Yeah, some of these detectives are they're experts in their field. They do very well, and they are made to get up from everything they do, these investigations that they really take to heart, work the investigation as hard as they can, and then go back to the street at a patrol capacity, but they willingly do it. But it's just another instance where the citizens of Phoenix are not getting the service that they deserve.
What about what about overtime? Is overtime expanding?
Oh no, that was definitely cut out. I mean, if we could get some overtime expenditure, then we could put more officers on the street, but that was stopped.
Okay, because I had heard that their overtime was actually a problem in that it was burning out some of these folks.
I don't know about that, but there were a lot of officers working overtime because we had to keep those staffing levels up.
Right, but you can't. You're saying that's not the norm. That's not the rule.
No, no.
The chief says that the goal is to maintain the expected level of service and to improve response times. Are those goals being met?
No. No, I don't think so. The city manager wants to hire. Wants to get the staffing level up to 3,125 officers. Right now we're about at 2,720, I believe. When asked where the magic number of 3,125 came from, he said it was what we can afford. Well, that's not how it should be looked at. You should see the need that the citizens have and conduct your hiring appropriately.
What about police assistants? How are they being used? Or are they being used any differently than in the past?
No, we're still using them as we always have, but at this current time, they're not out in the street assisting the patrol officers. We do have some that will assist in large traffic accidents, but it's not really making an impact.
You mentioned the marbles in the box and the chief having to magically get 7 out of 5. City Councilman Nowakowski was saying that he thinks the chief is thinking outside of the box and doing the best that she can. Is this the best that the city can do?
I believe the chief is doing the best that she can. I don't believe it's the best that the city can do.
What can the city do better?
I think they can hire more officers. I think they can take into consideration the safety of the citizens. People that want to bring businesses here, they want to ensure that their business will be safe. They can do a lot more, but they just have to find the resources to do it.
City manager says the police department right now is the largest share of the city budget.
Definitely.
He says that it's 44% of the general fund.
I would agree.
And he says if you want 100 more officers, just 100 more officers, he's got to find $14 million a year.
And he should find it.
Where's he going to get it?
I have no idea.
So good luck, fella, in other words.
Well, we have elected city council. We have a mayor. Part of their duty is to ensure the safety of the citizens of Phoenix.
Do you think that things like improving parks, providing swimming pools, these sorts of things, should those be cut back?
I don't know if they should be cut back. But I am sure that a city as large as Phoenix, we are a big deal. I'm sure that they could find ways to give the citizens everything they need without taking from another department.
Are you talking about bringing back the 2% food tax, the sales tax?
You know, Ted, I don't know. I don't know if that's what they would choose. I do know that most major cities have a dedicated public safety tax that is used in many different ways. That may be one idea.
So what I'm hearing is increase the money, but not many suggestions on how to increase the money. And the city manager, Ed Zerker, is saying, find me the money, find me a way to do this. And he's saying, again, with it being the largest share of the budget, you need $14 million a year just for 100 officers. It sounds like he's saying something else is going to have to go, but you're not willing to say what should. I mean, is it an either-or situation?
I really don't know. I think the city council should get together and do what they're elected to do and find a way to do this. You know, we don't need to build more sports arenas downtown, do we? I don't know. How do the citizens feel about that? There are some properties that own in downtown that probably need to be sold. I think they've been trying to be sold for a while.
Yes.
There are other things that can be looked at besides taking from the citizens and fixing the problem on the backs of the employees.
Last question before you go. Who's to blame for all this? How did we get here?
We got here because of the city council decided not to hire any police officers between the time period of 2008 and 2015. What's important to know that in that 6+ years, they did not hire for attrition. Whereas in contrast, the city of Glendale, Arizona had a hiring freeze, but they did hire for attrition. And they're not facing a staffing level crisis as we are.
So that hiring freeze is still hovering over the entire operation.
Yes.
All right, interesting information. Good to have you here. Thanks for joining us. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
And coming up next on Arizona Horizon, how do you explore an asteroid that's 280 million miles from the sun? Well, you start with a basketball-sized 3D model made at ASU. Researchers at ASU have been chosen by NASA to explore Psyche, a distant asteroid that's made of metal and could be the core remnant of a failed planet. Lindy Elkins-Tanton is the principal investigator of the Psyche mission and the director of ASU's School of Earth and Space Exploration. Welcome to Arizona Horizon. Good to have you here.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
This asteroid is how far away now? 280 million miles?
It's 3 times farther from the sun than the Earth is. It's out between Mars and Jupiter.
And this is called Psyche.
That's right.
How long have we been aware of Psyche's existence?
It was discovered in 1852 by an astronomer in Naples, Italy. So we've known it was out there, but we didn't know it was made of metal, and we didn't know how big it was.
And how big is it?
So it's about the size of the state of Massachusetts. If you dropped it on Arizona, it would go from Phoenix to Flagstaff.
Yeah, wow. So it's is that big for an asteroid?
It's big for an asteroid.
It sounds like it.
Yeah.
Especially, it's got to be big if you do. There's a mission to go out there and check it out, correct?
Yeah.
I mean, you can't just go out checking a dot. You got to find something pretty big.
It's got to be a reason. There's got to be a reason to go there. That's right.
Okay, what is the reason to go there?
Psyche is the only large, round metal object in our solar system. We think that it might be the core of a little planet that started out early in the solar system and was battered to pieces. So instead of joining in and becoming a part of the Earth or a part of Mars or Mercury or Venus, it got broken into pieces until only its metal core was left. So Psyche is a unique object in our solar system, and we think it's going to teach us about what's inside our planets today and what happened in the very first few million years of our solar system.
I was going to say the metal core sounds similar to the Earth, correct?
That's right. That's right. This is the first thing that happens with planets. They differentiate. The metal melts and drains to the middle and becomes a big metal core, and then there's rock around the outside. And so we can never visit the Earth's core. It's millions of times more pressure than at the surface.
Wow.
The temperature is about 10,000 degrees Fahrenheit. So this is the only core that humans will ever see.
Isn't that interesting? Now, the mission involving Psyche, when does this really get started?
We are scheduled right now to launch in 2023. We actually started 5 years ago working on the proposal, and we just were selected by NASA for flight in January.
Now, talk about NASA selecting you guys as opposed to those guys.
Oh my goodness.
Big deal,
It
huh?
was a huge thrill, yeah. So we have to go through 2 proposal rounds in this competition. It's called the Discovery Mission Competition. And there were 28 proposals that went in for the first round. 5 were selected for additional work, and we were one of the 5, and we were completely thrilled. And then to get that call early in the morning on January 4th saying we'd been selected, oh my goodness, it's the thrill of a lifetime. It's such a privilege.
It's a thrill and a privilege, and it also means time to get to work. Doesn't it?
Yes.
And among the things you've done now, I think we have some video of this idea of a 3D printer printing out what, like a little basketball-sized version of this thing?
That's right. That's right. So the radar telescope in Arecibo can actually ping radar off of Psyche, way out there past Mars, and get an idea of what its shape is. So the basic shape of this is correct, and all the details on the surface are our guesses about the science.
Yeah, we're taking a look here at the video actually of what NASA thinks it looks like. In a second, I hope we can take a look at the actual 3D version, because that's the thing that, there we go. Yeah, holy mackerel, look at that thing go.
That's, of course, time lapse.
Yes.
It took 4 days. Oh, there I am.
And so it basically rounds it out. And again, you have to do a lot of conjecture here, correct?
A lot of conjecture. The video that you saw, the NASA idea, is exactly the same 3D shape as this. And so the basic shape of it we think is pretty much correct, although we won't know till we get closer. And all the surface details are our guesses. And this is this very talented young man who works at ASU Polytechnic who created that 3D for us.
Isn't that fascinating? Now, you have a general idea because of radar returns.
That's right.
So how does that work?
It's, you know, it's just like radar that a police officer would use to check speeding. We literally bounce, and I shouldn't say we, the people at Arecibo literally bounce radar off of that tiny body and get the return back to Earth. We can do it with radar, but in terms of light, looking at a picture of it, the best image we have is just a dot of light, just a pixel of light looking like a star. We've never seen this body in the way that you and I think about seeing. And so we're going to run a competition to see who can imagine what a metal world looks like before we get there. We've been to...
That's a great idea.
I mean, have everyone. So
what do you think it's going to look like when we finally get a chance to look at it?
Right. As we've been to other planets and bodies made of rock, like the Moon and Mars, and made of ice and with gassy outsides, but humankind has never been to a metal object before. This is our very first time going to a metal world.
Now, is this in the asteroid belt out there?
That's right.
Is it in the farther reaches?
It is. Yeah, we call it the outer asteroid belt.
Wow. So how long does this take to go around the sun?
It takes over 4 years to go all the way around. And so it has a very long season, so to speak. Yeah.
Does it revolve?
Yep, it rotates. It's got an axis like the axis of the Earth, and it rotates. But something disastrous happened to it and knocked it over, so that its rotation is actually flat. So it rotates like this instead of like this.
It's fascinating to think that there could have been another planet out there, just as big as life in the sky, in our sky, and something, what could have happened? Could it have gotten bombarded by things?
Right.
More than likely that's it?
We think so. So very early in the solar system, we started with just dust and little sand grain sized material, and it clumped together. And we actually have evidence from meteorites that fall to the Earth, and this blows my mind. I can't believe the work people do with meteorites, that shows that these planetesimals, these small planets the size of Psyche, formed within 500,000 years, which sounds like a long time to humans, but if the solar system was 24 hours long, they formed in the first 3 seconds.
Wow.
And then they clumped together to make the planets like the Earth and Moon and Mars, but they had a lot of collisions along the way. Some of those collisions built them up into bigger bodies, and some knocked them to pieces. We call those hit and run collisions. So we think Psyche had a lot of hit and run collisions.
Now, compare Psyche to some of the moons of some of the planets. Same size, smaller, a little bit?
So yeah, it's in that range. There are very, very small moons of planets, and then there are really big moons of planets. Some of the big moons are almost the size of the Earth almost. So there's a big range.
So you're launching in 2023, correct?
That's the current plan.
And how long does it take to get there?
At the moment, we're looking at a trajectory from the Earth that gets us there by 2030.
A 7-year flight to get to that thing?
Yeah, but wait and see. It's possible that we'll be able to shorten that as we study things further.
Wow. Well, you got to be pretty excited about all this.
I'm so excited. I think I'm at about 70% believing this is real. The very best part of it is we have a tremendous team of people, and we're bringing a lot of activity to the state of Arizona, and just underscoring again how we are an aerospace strength here. I'm really proud to be part of it.
Yes, indeed, and it certainly helps ASU's reputation as far as those lines are concerned.
That's right.
Well, good luck on this. Congratulations. At least you got a model going there. I want to get in on that contest. I want to put little craters here and there and move them around so that
absolutely.
Put a golf course up there and maybe I'll win a prize, huh? It's good to have you here, and congratulations on your success, and good luck on the future of the mission.
Thank you. Thanks so much for your interest.
Thank you. Arnold Palmer once said that golf is deceptively simple and endlessly complicated. Girls Golf of Phoenix is an organization that teaches girls the sport, but also some very important life lessons. Producer Shauna Fisher and photographer Rob McJanet have the story.
Every swing, every drive is pushing these young girls closer to their goals. And that's the mission of an organization called Girls Golf of Phoenix.
Golf is the tool that I use to build the confidence with these girls. Okay, ready? Let's do it again.
Corey Matheson heads up the organization.
Our average age is 10, so these are little girls, and I think you know, a lot of times people think the game of golf you have to be so experienced and so knowledgeable in all the rules and all the skills if you're going to do it.
You can go first.
Girls Golf provides a safe place where they don't have to have all that experience. So these girls are coming to me fresh. Some of them, it's their first real time on a course. We're gonna go from here to that really far one.
13-year-old Olivia Florence first picked up a club a few years ago when she lived in Chicago. She comes from an athletic family, and she saw golf as a way for her to have something she could call her own. She says joining Girls Golf didn't just improve her playing skills.
I really learned to like communicate with people very well. I used to be like really shy, and I didn't really talk to people a lot.
Olivia says Girls Golf also helped her in school.
When I hit a good shot on a certain hole, I really appreciate the fact that I've worked so hard for that. And that's kind of like a connection that I make with my life. Like, I've worked really hard to, let's say, study for like a math test. And once you get like that one answer right and you like feel it like that you can do even better, like you're on the right track, that makes like me feel really good.
I think it's better with our lucky spot.
When 10-year-old Tatum Partridge took up golf, it was because of an injury.
Right here, it's just my lucky spot.
She broke her leg and was looking for a sport that didn't require running. Her mom signed her up for a girls' golf event.
A Halloween golf tournament, and which I loved it. It was probably the best time I've ever had.
Tatum says she's getting better at golf, but she's more impressed with the change in her attitude.
Nice. It's helped me by like just learning and having patience, like, because golf, you need a lot of patience, and so it helps me with school, and then I can have more patience with school.
Her mom, Courtney, agrees. She sees golf as a way for Tatum to learn to be self-sufficient.
I'm most proud that she gets out here and smiles and has fun, and even though, you know, she may be grouped with people that are technically her competitors, they will go out there and they will laugh, they will have fun, and she's made some really good friends from golf.
Is it about halfway, or is it rolling faster than that?
Corey says she loves to see girls like Tatum find that space where she can be herself and learn a new skill. It's why she joined Girls Golf herself when she was a teenager.
Girls Golf really had offered me a safe place where I could grow my game. You know, it sounds silly, but when I was 12, I felt like I was starting a little bit later than some of the other girls that were already playing competitively. And if I was looking to play in college or play in high school or whatnot, I needed to kind of hunker down and get serious. We have a big hill to get up.
Corey says she knew back then she wanted to lead the organization.
1, 2, 3.
And about 4 years ago, she got the chance.
Olivia wins.
Girls Golf started in Phoenix in 1989. It has since grown nationwide, and there are now 300 chapters.
Are those some drills you learned from a coach?
50,000 girls ages 3 to 17 are reached each year.
Check your toes.
Girls Golf puts on tournaments and clinics and also events surrounding the LPGA.
Where are you aimed at right now?
But the core of what they do is teach empowerment, self-esteem, and honesty.
A lot of people say that, golf is parallel to life because it's going to teach you those values and those skills that you can take along. I mean, you're going to have to be self-reliable and get yourself there, and you're only relying on yourself.
Oh, make it in. Nice.
And for Tatum and Olivia, there's no better feeling.
It's kind of like winning. It feels like you're winning, just like after every single shot, you're winning a piece of like your life, your goals.
Oh, here you go. Good job, B.
If you're interested in Girls Golf of Phoenix, head to their website, girlsgolfoffphoenix.org. Friday on Arizona Horizon, it's the Journalists Roundtable. We'll have the latest on the push to expand school vouchers in the state. And should a warrant be required before removing a child from a troubled home? Those stories and more next on the Journalists Roundtable. Speaking of politics, which we'll talk a lot about tomorrow, next week, Tuesday, Governor Ducey will join us for a one-on-one interview. Make sure you catch us for that. That is it for now. I'm Ted Simons. Thank you so much for joining us. You have a great evening.
Arizona Horizon is made possible by contributions from the Friends of Arizona PBS, members of your PBS station. Thank you. When you want to be more informed, Arizona PBS delivers news and analysis with multiple perspectives, thanks to financial support from